So the first one is getting live. And I hope you can tell by looking at this presentation that set has position. The only problem is that this defender is in front. So if I were to just move this defender over here, what would happen? You'll make an entry pass to a shot on goal. Good stuff. The problem is that this player was just fouled. And we'll put them a little bit in here. They're inside the 5-meter line and they cannot shoot. So that allows their defender just to drop back and say, hey, you can't shoot, you can't pass the ball in. It's a wash. This is a good situation for my team. So this player needs to get live, meaning they need to pass the ball and get the ball back to them as soon as possible to force the defense back to them. And that's going to be accomplished by any one of these 4 players performing a V-cut. Ideally, the closest player. So I'll do it right here, which means you go in, go out, go in, go out. There's something we've practiced before. Pass to either one, ideally this one, ball back. And now what will happen is if this defense stays there, you can slide center cage. You have a pretty good shot on goal. So if they're smart, they're going to come to you, allows for the entry pass, potentially an ejection, or a really, really strong shot on goal. So that's getting live. Next one is driving the drop through. So if you notice right off the bat, set does have position. It's almost identical to what I did over here. Set has position, except now it's just happening right here. And let's just say this is off of a timeout. Let's just say you just ran a counter attack and you've got a good 20-25 seconds left to run your offense. The quicker you can notice, hey, they're dropping on set and our set has position, the quicker you can get into a real offense and the better chances you have for a better quality shot on goal. So there's a drop in the set. This player does not have the ball, and what some teams would do is just go, oh, here, and then you attack in. Problem is that this is the 4 spot. This is a right-handed player. This is not a very good shot on goal. Even if it were a left-handed player, like this is good. This is okay. But I always preach you want to be trying to get the ball into set as much as you can. If you can make 20 entry passes into set over the course of 4 quarters, you've probably won that game alone just off of the ejections you've drawn or the 5 meters or etc. So let's just say this team's got 20 seconds. There's a drop. Hopefully these other 5 players are saying drive the drop through. And all that is this player's going to drive across towards the other side of the pool to the 1-2 side. If this defense stays, you got a guaranteed goal from there to there. So they're going to follow. They rotate. 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 And I hope you see what's immediately open. A quick entry pass in the set. Now what some better teams will do is they'll go like this. They'll just drop this in here. And they'll go like that. And you could attack in, and this is an even better shot than the one before. But if you really, really wanted to apply this, you honestly could just go through again. I know it's a cluster, I know it's bad, but look what happens. You still get another entry pass in the set. Now, this is all based off the fact that I'm assuming that your set is a very strong player. They're able to hold position for a long time, and clearly they're very good because they're immediately dropping in a set. But what I really want you to get is that if you see your defender dropping in a set, more often than not, I would say 95% of the time, it is beneficial to you to drive the drop through because they're there for a reason. They're there to stop this advantage, and that's the real advantage. So if you can go through on either side, this could happen on either side of the pool. You can go like this, straight through, or even like this. Even if there's a drop in here, you can go here and drive through, drive that drop through. So in conclusion, drive the drop through if the defense is dropping into set. The last one I'm going to show you requires a little bit more thinking. This is called isolation. And isolation basically means that you're isolating the game to 2 to a maximum of 3 players. Notice I've drawn this circle really, really big because let's just say every time this player has touched the ball this game, they've scored. So they're really, really good. And now here I'll do this. I'm going to make this X really small. Now every time this player has had to defend somebody, they've scored anybody. So they're the weakest defender on the team and the strongest offensive player on the team. So without even thinking, you'd say, yeah, let's Let's just do that. Let's get the ball there, right? That makes sense. You wanna punish those situations. But now let me show you this. Let's switch these players around. So now we're like this. We've got our best player on offense here, their weakest player on defense here. Something you could do to try and get these players onto each other is something you've learned prior, which is called a pick or a screen. So similar to the pick and roll in basketball. And all you could do is this. This player is going to come here, set a pick on the weakest player, and now you have this. They go through. And even if nothing happens here and no one scores, it forces the defense to switch. And now you've got your strongest player on their weakest player. And now what could you do? Oh, you go here, ball side drive, rotate through, etc. You've seen this 1,000 times. And now you're left with the strongest player on the weakest player. Another thing you can do right off the bat, excuse me, let's do this. Let me set it up like this. Sorry, bear with me. Again, so isolating the side of the pool. Now let's say again, we've got the strongest player here, but now the weakest player is already on them at the wing. One really, really easy thing you could do is, and this would usually be off a timeout, the coach would notice this, to say, hey, just post them up right away. You're at the wing, just get them into the 2-meter line of the post. Post them up. Now you've got that mismatch there. And what you could really do, obviously these players would rotate a little bit. What you could really do to really, really isolate this side of the pool is a couple things. Either this point could pass the ball here and drive away, and now you're left with this here, this situation here. Or this player and this player, or let's just do this. This player could drive across here, and now you got this situation here. Nice entry pass in the set. Or you could even make it more controlled than that. Let's say the ball starts here. You could have both these players go away. Have both of them go away. I know this is a jumbled mess right now, but it'll make sense in a second. Everyone rotates over. So again, both those players went away. I know it doesn't look like much, but look what you get immediately. You get all this water here. Even if there's a foul here, if both those players go away, you're going to have a good 5-second window of making an entry pass and set on your strongest player to their weakest player. So how can we make these situations happen? For one, being aware, listening to our coaches, listening to our teammates, recognizing our matchups, recognizing the strongest player, recognizing the weakest player. And again, it allows you to bully that player. If you put them in this situation 5 times in a game with an entry pass, I would almost guarantee that you're getting a 50-50 shot on goal, or you're gonna get them into foul trouble early, and that's good, that's a good thing for your team. So the more matchups you can get like this, the better, for one. And again, isolating a player or isolating an area of the pool can be done through picks, can be done through drives, and it can be done through just situational awareness. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, we'll go over it again. We remember getting live, meaning someone's dropping onto your set. You got a V cut, help the ball back. They go back there. That's getting live. Driving the drop through. We recognize that there's drop from here. The drop's at the 3. Go away from the ball. They go with you. We got an entry pass in the set. That's driving the drop through. And then isolation can again be accomplished a multitude of ways. Just one last time to demonstrate. I know it's not perfect. What's going on? Like this. So again, strongest player, weakest defender. Sets a pick on the weakest defender. They're basically switching. And if you got this, you got inside water. If they're smart, they'll be like this. But even if you get like this, strongest player and weakest player, they're dancing with the ball, couple pump fakes. Maybe they draw a foul here, and now you got your best player with the weakest defender on them with a quality shot on goal. So again, isolation is accomplished through picks, drives, and recognizing your matchups, recognizing who's strong against who's the weakest defender, etc. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you.